Alrighty. I am glad that we were able to get back together again. Let me go ahead and remove this because I'm going to set up my topic list. And let me just bring you guys up to date. So last weekend, I believe it was Saturday morning, I get woken up to my mom, no, my mom, she's in heaven, my wife asking for help. And it seems that she was half asleep and slid out of the bed. Our bed is like waist level high for me, and it's a little bit high for her. Her knees, they are not as mobile as they were. So she slipped, long story short, and she smacked the side of her chest on her little wastebasket that she has on the side. And she had a little bit of a bruise and she was in pain. All day Saturday, she had ice packs on her side. Monday, we had a gastro appointment with the gastroenterologist. She's going to have another endoscopy done. Um, I think the day before Thanksgiving. And so we went to that. On the way home, she says, "You know what? I'm really, really bad. Let me go home and take some painkillers." And she did. That following morning, she said, "Now let's go to the ER." So we went to the ER, Walter Reed National Military Hospital. That's used to be Bethesda Naval, where the presidents go for care. I go there, and so does my wife. And so they did an X-ray, and sure enough, yeah. So it's funny that the X-ray report that I just downloaded the other day and printed it for her so she can take it to her gastroenterologist outside. We go to certain things outside, not in-house at Walter Reed, and it had about that much information about her cracked rib and all of this information about her previous 2003, I think it was, quintuple bypass surgery, and how they saw all of the staples and the wires that are still inside her body, and the stents and all of that. So she had a very long-winded, all day long cardiac testing at another center, and that went fine, no issues at all. But yeah, she's in a lot of pain, and now it's very swollen and giant bruise on it. So we got her upstairs, and she's resting right now. As soon as I get done, I'm heading upstairs to see if she needs anything. I think she wants me to get Wendy's, she said today. So of course I am going to go right after we finish here to Wendy's and get her a burger, and she loves Frosties. So we'll be dining on that this afternoon. So early. I hope everyone put their clocks back. Last night, we have far too many clocks in the house. So that's always quite an operation whenever it comes time for, either forward or back. But anyway, so far everything is fine. I have fantastic news on another different subject matter. Mike Lee, former owner of Precision Colors, got a hold of me the other day and asked if I would be willing to have him visit me. And I said, "You're just gonna come all the way from Toronto just to visit me?" "Oh, no, 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 no. My wife's nephew lives right near you." And I said, "Really? Can you tell me the address?" And he did. And lo and behold, not only does he live near me, but he lives in one of the shopping centers we always go to all the time. And so we always have noticed that there are some beautiful brand new apartment buildings. So apparently he lives right in that very section right there. You have to pull in from the main road like you're going to go to the shopping center, and there are all these high rises, and that's where he lives. So it's going to be the week prior to Thanksgiving. So that'll be like what day is today? The 2nd. He said around the 19th. So he'll have 3 days here. We'll pick a day and we'll hang out and talk. And I was kind of hoping to even do a very short live stream during the day. We'll see. We'll do it on the phone and see how that works. Hope we have some good Wi-Fi wherever we are at. I didn't want to bring him over to the house with my wife the way she is. But yeah, that should be a lot of fun. And he's got his flights are booked. He and his wife are booked to come in to Reagan National in DC. And so that's going to be fun. I'm looking really forward to that. I'll let you guys know any other news concerning that next week. But anyway, I'm glad that everyone was able to join us. We have 23 on board. Hope everybody had a happy Halloween. We had 0 trick-or-treaters. Can you believe it? I don't know what's going on with Halloween this last few years. And we have kids in our street now. Our street used to be nothing but old fogies like us. And I've noticed, young families moving in, and kids. I see them riding their bikes up and down, but nobody came. And we had the lights on and candles and all that stuff. But anyway, so we'll have to do something with that candy. I'm not supposed to eat it. Okay, and neither is my wife. She's diabetic. So we'll have to give that away to I don't know who, but it'll be gone. So anyway, let's start by saying hello. And again, the names are going to be weird with the at and then one long name, or I don't know what's going on with StreamYard. But Fess Lopez here, Fred Elias, Warren, Michigan, Ecotech 8550 are papers, OEM inks. Oh, I have another announcement. after we get done here. That's very, very important. Okay, so I will be showing you that after we get done here, saying howdy to everyone. Red River Papers, OEM Inks, Nikon D300, Leica M3, I1 Pro, QMH Ultimate, all the goodies. He's a hobbyist, family, and friends. Henry Stoffel, Medford, Mass, P800, OEM Inks, and of course, a QMH Ultimate 2026 109 released last Thursday, which offers new tools for creating greeting cards. And I'm going to be playing Michael Cheney's video. Okay, I hope he lets me do that. I'm going to show you guys how you do that in QImage, but I'm just going to let him show you because I am no expert yet on that. So I will be, I usually just use Photoshop with my little template that I created, and that works perfectly fine for me for the, I think it's the 6.25 by 9 cardstock that you get from Red River. I already made it customized to that, but you can do the same thing in QImage. All right, so let's go ahead and continue. DPD 605, Ron K. from Trenton, New Jersey, currently using EcoTank 8550, QImage Ultimate Lifetime, Canon R5 Mark II, and a Canon 7D Mark I. Welcome back. Captain Donzi, cool and Richmond and sunny Richmonds. So that's cool and sunny Richmond. So you're the other guy from Richmond besides my other friend. He should be here as well. Welcome, my friend. Pro 100 with all the trimmings. Awesome. Here's Kevin Berniarski, Ellsworth, Wisconsin. Canon Pro 300, Epson EcoTank 8550, and the XP 15000. Richard Bender from Hagerstown, Maryland. He's got an EcoTank 8550 DJI drone, Nikon D300, two non-working R3000s, ink switch mechanism. Yeah, same here. I have one as well. QMH Ultimate and various papers. Welcome. Photo Nikon 780. Hello from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. QMH Ultimate Photoshop DxO Photolab 9, Canon Pro 1000 Epson 8550, 15,000 OEM inks, and so forth. Martin Van Gogh is here from Netherlands. Epson P900 roll unit, OEM, QMH Ultimate Lifetime, and monochrome printing. Oh, you're using your P100 with piezography inks, or are you just printing black and white straight up? Emmanuel is here from France, Normandy, town of Rouen, 8550, and he's got a Q1 and a color checker. Color checker passport? Yeah, I think that's what that is. Harold Davies, La Crosse, Wisconsin, Pro 1100, 2100, PC, SE, QImage. Interesting intro. That's the one that I made a few weeks ago with some of the things that I lately created in Photoshop. I'm going to be doing some new ones, and I'm going to be doing a Halloween one. It'll be after Halloween, obviously, but from images that Richard Bender sent me, has been sending me the last few days, and some of mine, and we'll see what we can put together. I'm going to try to find some spooky music that's not copyrighted. Otherwise, they'll flag my whole live stream. Feslop says, I haven't seen a trick or theater or treater. A trick or treater. I'm sorry, I can't read today. A trick or treater in 5 years. Yeah. I think, like my grandson, he went trick or treating Friday night. He's 13. He had a party at his house, and he had at school. They had the 8th graders had to help the little kids do their costume parade. I went to that, of course. Grandpa always goes to that, and it was awesome. It was absolutely fantastic. Then later, I think prior to that, the previous week, they had the trunk or treat, where the cars, they get decorated, and you got the trunk full of candy, and you give it away to all the kids. Anyway, so after the party, they went trick or treating. So apparently, their neighborhood is very active in trick or treating. So they came home with a boatload of candy. I hope they didn't eat it all at once, but anyway, it was successful. And yesterday we went out. My daughter treated there I go, thinking about my mom, treated my wife to a facial. They went to Bloomingdale's, which is very, very costly. I have no clue how many hundreds of dollars my daughter spent on both her and my wife. But I'm going to have to, and she refused to take money. I'm going to slip her a gift card to her local supermarket for several $100s. And hopefully that helps out because Thanksgiving is coming up, then Christmas is coming up, and then I'll give her another card during Christmas. I think that's the best thing to do, to give to your kids shopping cards for their favorite store. And that takes care of their needs, at least momentarily. So, anyway, Pete Grobel is here from Plainville, Connecticut, 1100. OEM inks, Canon 22 by 17 Pro Luster photo paper. Awesome. PhotoZen says, sorry, off topic, but what do you use for 3D printing? And after your experience, what do you recommend? Where do you get the files from? Okay, that could be a very long subject. I could do a live stream only about that. So I'll just tell you straight up, the 3D printing industry, especially resin printing, which is, let me just bring a couple of things out. Okay, so printers, the one you buy today, in about 6 months, will be replaced by a better and more highly improved model. So it's kind of a pain because it's not like printers that take several years before a new one replaces it or gets updated. Um, Early on, it was unaffordable. You just could not afford to buy a 3D printer. It was just ridiculous. Now, I think the one that I'm going to show you that I printed these items on, and I have another one in box that is supposed to have been like the latest. Now it's just old now, within a matter of about a year and a half. It's just, I'm going to set it up someday, but it's just not even considered up to today's standards anymore. That's how fast this field progresses. So you have a capacity. So you have a work area that is, the one that I'm using now is rather small. It's about 4x6, maybe a little bit less. And unlike filament printing, which uses a roll of a plastic type filament, which gets melted and gets extruded through a little tiny nozzle. They come in different diameters. You do it layer by layer. It would be like if you took a confectioner's bag with, icing and then just built walls with it and details. And yeah, that ends up with little tiny ridges along the edges. I think someday they might, refine that to the point where you get a smooth type contour, especially around areas that are angled. But 3D printing, each layer is a different process completely. Um, Filament printing starts from the bottom and works all the way up. 3D printing is upside down. You start from the top, the base, and work all the way down because your work unit, your surface is upside down and it dips into the vat of resin. It's a photo sensitive resin, I guess. It's UV sensitive. So you have a screen that will flash one of the layers. It's like a CT scan. So you create a file in your 3D editor, then you export it as a STS file. That's the format. And then you slice it, create a CT scan. So many slices, and there are certain thickness and so forth. So you end up with something like this. And my wife, being a Disney maniac, I decided to make a few of these. I have like 300 models in the back room. So this started up like this. Okay. It did not have the base. The base is extra. I made that extra. So it would be, see the feet? That will be attached to the work plate. And it dips in. And the first image that gets flashed, UV image, it's like a 3D screen. UV image that gets flashed is the bottom part of the foot. And then it cures it, lifts it up, it detaches from the bottom of the vat, waits a few seconds, comes back down, then the next one is attached. The next layer is attached, cured, lifts, and layer by layer by layer. You can see life like what is it where you do a video and everything is increased in speed. You can see those and see exactly how it gets built. And as you can see, it's a perfect little replica. Whoever made this is a genius. I mean, they did a beautiful reproduction of this. So this is it. This is it. It uses a certain volume of resin. If you want to really create beautiful little models, my grandson made this one. He loves all of these weird type of critters, I guess. So he painted it with acrylic paints. Here's a real brute. Okay, look at that. Look at that hand. But again, all is solid. It is 3D printed with resin. It's smooth. All of the details are. Then I decided to do something really out of the question of normal. This is actually hollow, and yeah, I sprayed it with a gray paint, and then I used some washes to give it some texture. So anyway, that's it. I mean, I have, like I said, beautiful. Oh, here's this one. So this is really for Halloween. You can see that. Some people might not like this type of thing, but I find it a challenge to make some of these models because sometimes it seems like there's no way I'm going to be able to make this. This is not going to work. It's going to fail. And there's a lot of failures that take place due to the way that the design was created, not taking into account how a 3D resin printer works. I'll be right back. Okay. And you can make anything. In fact, these are 3D printed. So they're no longer made out of porcelain, at least commonly no longer made out of porcelain. So they're made out of a special resin that it's okay to, have it in your mouth, in other words. So it's not going to, hurt you. Biocompatible resin, they call it. Okay, let's turn this off. I want to save my electricity on my little light. Here's Mike Cheney. I actually made it on time today. Mike has been helping me on something. When you start a new channel in YouTube, you have to reach certain levels, certain categories. And apparently the category that I am at this point does not allow me to post complete URLs, links. So that must be why I haven't seen any kind of affiliate earnings. And so at this point, I got to wait until the 1st of December to sort of reapply. You have to like prove who you are. I'm going to use my driver's license and I'm going to just you have to click on a CR code and take a picture of your license, and then they'll say, okay, you are who you say you are, and they allow you to post long links. Well, right now I cannot. So all of the links that I've been putting on my video descriptions are useless. They are not shown in their complete completeness, and so you cannot click on them. So Mike came up with something really interesting. I'm going to go ahead and type this in manually. And you guys, I want you guys to do me a huge favor. While we are doing this, while we are here, I want you guys to manually copy it. You cannot just copy and paste. You have to literally visually copy. It's just J Toolman. Okay, and I'm going to post this in a second. Dot netliffy net dot netliffy and dot app and then /. So J Toolman netliffy app /. I think that's it. There you see it right there. Okay, so there you go. So what would happen, and I'm going to do this live, because when you go into my video descriptions, say you want to buy QImage, and right now they're offering a sale, 10%. Mike will correct me if I'm wrong. And if you use my link that I had posted on that huge list, you will get another 10% on top of that. So kind of a piggyback discount. So let's go ahead and type that in again. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what I am doing. So J Toolman dot, make sure that I type that in correctly. Yeah, J Toolman dot netliffy or lifey netliffy dot app /. Okay, so now you see that it became blue, so that must mean something, right? So there it is right here. I can just click on that and boom. So if you get to this point, and now all you got to do is click on one of these. You want to check out Keith Cooper's store? Right there. You want to check out my channel, I believe that is, so forth. Facebook group, join group. Look at that. Mike is a veritable genius. He created this for me. I don't know how the hell he did it, but there it is. So let's just say, for instance, you want to buy Precision Colors Canon Pro 1000 stuff. You want to buy inkchip.net chipless firmware, visit the Inkchip. And if you just basically click on one of these links, let's go ahead and go to QImage Windows here. Boom. And there you are. You see that? You are at the site. And I would suspect that my link has been taken into account. So you can then get only for $59. Oh, used to be $89. So you get the double discount, $59. And the same thing goes for all the other available links here. If you want to go to my channel, and there you are. Here we are on Jose's channel. All right. So I am going to be posting this at this point instead of the whole list of links, because that is not working. The reason it's not working is because I try to do a verification, and there are different ways that you can verify who you are. You can take like a 6-second video of your face. You turn left, you turn right, back to the center. I had my hat off, and the previous time that I did it, I had my hat on. So it refused me, and it barred me for like 2 months. And it's going to disbar me December 1st. But for the time being, and for your convenience, actually, because that's an actual URL, you can just save that and use it for Red River, use it for Amazon, use it for Rick Johnson. Yeah. For Halamoon sells the 3D printer attachments. This is a refilling and flushing unit for your Pro 10 and Pro 200 Pro 300 cartridges. So there. So it's wonderful, and I really do appreciate it. At least for now, it's going to help. I may go ahead and just use it from now on and just delete everything instead of having individual links. I'll just post that single link on there. Okay. Wonderful. What a headache that has been. We're doing well. I made it past the 500 subscribers. Now we need to reach 1,000. So I got about a 400 and something more subscribers. And it's a funny little thing that I post a video and I got over 500 subscribers. I don't get 500 views. So I don't know how that works. I don't know how people subscribe to someone and then, it should be. If I subscribe, my wife and I subscribe to a bunch of YouTubers and we watch their videos religiously. A new video comes on, boom, we're there. We watch it. And so if every subscriber did that, we could make it to monetization in a matter of a couple months. So, please, 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 if you are subscribed, if you are not subscribed, please subscribe, go to the channel and using that very link that I just showed you and go to the actual channel link and then subscribe. And that way you will be on, click the little bell because that will notify you. You can pretty much be sure that Monday through Fridays, 5:30 and 7:30, I will post a new video. By new, I mean videos from the past. I am moving forward from 2021, sorry, up to today. Anything earlier than that, I just don't have. Okay. And I wasn't seriously doing any kind of photo printing videos at that point anyway. So at some point, we're going to catch up and then everything's going to be brand new, up to date, in other words. So, all right. So let's see. So that's the link. Make sure you load it on your computer or your phone. Paul Nashak says, thanks for that link. Well, thank you. He says, Pro 100 does not have ink lines. Normal purge cycles after replacing cartridges will get rid of any old inks left in the printer. Yes, that is correct. The only issue, and I assume you're refilling, is that you just change one. Change just one. All 8 cartridges will lose ink because when you close the lid, printhead moves over to the purge unit. It will suck some ink out because it needs to make sure that air did not enter any of those exposed nozzle rows. This is the bottom of a Canon printhead. This is for the early 9500, which preceded the Pro 10 and now the Pro 300. So each one of those sections contains 5 channels, vertical rows of nozzles. When you move it over to the center where you're going to exchange your cartridges, it's exposed to air. And there's a possibility, especially the one you removed. Now it's like you take a straw, wet your fingers, plug the top, dip it in water. Water cannot get in. Remove your fingers, stick it in a bottle of water like this, and then plug the top. You lift that straw up. It's full of water, and the water does not drain out. Okay, but if I take my finger off, it'll all pour out. So that means that when you remove a cartridge and you have that printhead exposed in the middle of your printer, it's floating over air. Ink can just pour right out of that nozzle set, that set of nozzles. And it has to be purged. It has to be refilled with ink, but it cannot just pick yellow. It cannot just pick magenta. It has to do all 8 at the same time. So you're losing a ton of ink every time you do this. As it adds up, 1 cartridge at a time, you're going to end up, say you do finally all 8 of them within a period of, say, 3 months, because the levels are going to be at different levels. So you're always going to have one that's going to be requiring exchanging. Do it one by one. You're going to have 8 purge cycles times 8 cartridges. Just have a set ready, filled, reset. And when one goes low, low, not empty, low, remove all the other 7 along with it. Put it on I don't have one here, on a holder from Rudy Halamum. Okay, you're going to need the orange clips for your these right here. Get those from Rick Johnson right here. And you put them on that holder. Then you load 8 filled and reset cartridges. When the printhead goes over to the right, it will run a cleaning cycle or a purge cycle. It's less than a cleaning cycle. All the levels are going to be up. All the levels are going to be equal. It's going to take you, depending how much you print, about 3 months to get down so that one has to be changed. Again, you swap the whole 8. You just reduced, instead of having 8 purge cycles every 3 months, one at a time, 1 purge cycle every 3 months. And again, it depends how often or how little you print. I mean, it depends on that. That's a huge variable. But you will be saving what? Your internal waste ink pads. When your Pro 100s pads go full, buy a new printer, because I don't even think the components are available to have them replaced, the internal pads. They may be identical to the Pro 200, we hope, so they may be compatible, and you should be able to get a shop to do the work, but it's a huge mess. And these people don't want to do that anymore. And it will cost you almost $150 to have it done. You buy a new printer at that point. My Pro 100 that I keep saying I'm going to replace the printhead finally died after 13 and a half years. Still has not shown me a saturated internal pad. Why? Because I've been doing this the same way. All 8 at one time, remove them all because one was low, and then replace them with a full set. And why do you want to remove them when they're low and not empty? Because when they are low, I hope I have one with ink. When they are low, this is not low yet. This is about halfway down, a little bit over half. When it's low, it means there's still a tiny little bit of ink here. That means there's no air in the sponge. You see anything white? No. The sponge contains 0 air, or 1% maybe. Okay? So if I just add ink to that, let's assume that this is low. I add ink. All it's doing is replenishing the liquid that is housed in this little chamber. This is unaffected. But if I wait until this is empty, in other words, I get the low warning, then I'm going to start using ink out of the sponge. And what's left over here? Nothing, air. And air is going to infiltrate, find its way into those little fibers of that sponge, and make it very difficult for when I refill it later, for the ink to get in and displace that air. It just cannot do it. So you have to do it before low, okay? And then replace all 8. I have never had an issue with air in my cartridges for 13 and a half years. Okay, that I think that's proof enough of the process that Mike Lee from Precision Colors came up with. And I think I was the most contributing factor with that. I figured, let's just do it this way, and we should be able to make the refilling cycles last pretty much indefinitely. Get your sets from Rick Johnson. Again, now if you download that link, not download, but copy that link, look for Rick Johnson's site. Okay, it's on eBay. And buy the sets already processed for you. They will look like, no, not like this, but like this. Okay. And then you can start whatever inks that you choose to use. That's up to you. From scratch. That way there's no remnant of the previous ink set from whatever other source, whether it was OEM or not. Precision Colors, I push it. Precision Colors turned out a set of inks for that printer that surpassed the color output accuracy of the original ink from the Pro 100. So right off the bat, it was better. Okay. And in my uploads of videos, there's one in there where I do the comparison between OEM and Precision Color Signature Edition. Feel free to take a look at it. All right, enough of that. All right. Yeah, everybody thank Mike. And now we want him to come here with us as soon as possible. I hope Mike did Mike hear that? I hope not. Anyway, you know what I mean. Yeah, thanks to Jerry Lonko. Once I switch, I will get Rick Johnson to convert the old OEM card. Yeah, he will do that. The reason is they're getting more and more difficult to acquire on eBay, and people want too much money per unit. They're not going to do any refilling, so they're just selling their empty units. And then, my friend Rick has to do that whole process. It takes about 3 days to do it properly. And so, you got to make some money. Otherwise, why do this? And it's very difficult to make a good profit. So be aware of that and do support him. He will make your life so much freaking easier. Okay. Well, you don't want to do this process yourself unless you're really adventurous. Like this one here with OEM yellow ink. This stuff binds like crazy to the fibers. So I had a formulation that I was using. Rick has come up with a better one, has a higher percentage of ammonia, which takes care of that almost instantly. All of the ink just disappears after you rinse it. And rinsing means you have to then flush through the hole that you create. You flush, and then ink comes out of the bottom. It's a tedious process. It takes too long, and I don't want to do it. If I was to do it for money, there's no way. No, I'd be constantly doing this, and I need to take care of my wife first of all. She comes first. So we'll let Rick do this, and Rick will make this available for you. Connect to his link that will be on that news. Great little tool that Mike Cheney just provided for me, and I am immensely grateful for that. Don't forget, don't miss that sale. Okay, that's coming up like right now, I think. So make sure if you're interested in using QImage Ultimate, sure you can get the 14-day trial and then buy the actual by using that link. But use that link first, okay? Otherwise, you will not get that double discount. Yes and no. It's a really weird situation where, I mean, people are buying a lot of stuff using my link. It's the same link. There is no old link. It's the same link. And this little tool that Mike just created for me should still take you there. And again, you just basically go on there, and I'll show you real quick. But I have not seen. It's really strange. I haven't seen anything coming from them it's been quite a while. It has to reach $100, but I don't know what the percentage that they give you is anyway. So let me open up this and let me get my Amazon. Red River, Hallamum. Where is Amazon? Okay, here it is. So the Amazon link is simply this. And again, you don't need to use the actual link because you can use that other one, if you get what I mean. So here's the link. So it looks like this. So all of the www.amazon.com and then /shop and /Jose Rodriguez. One word. Like that. Okay. And if we take that And let me open up another tab and I'll show you. I'll hide that, jump over to this, and I'm going to just paste that link. Okay. It's going to take you here and you're going to go like, what the heck? Don't worry. Click on the girl. Boom. Look at all that. So I have a couple hundred items here, but let's just say you don't want any of this. Just go to search, right? Right here. Type in Strathmore oil painting paper. And there you go. If you just buy, supposedly I will get credit for that sale. That's how it's supposed to work. So again, I don't know what the percentages are. I know Amazon is going through some crazy situation right now. That, from what I have heard, they're letting go of like 14,000 employees due to AI. AI is taking over and doing the work of people. So yeah, but please continue using the link and I will eventually receive notification or a check will come in the mail. Usually the last one I got was for like $86, but it was like 6 months prior to that I didn't get anything. So I got it. I got a check, so it must be working, but it must be very small percentage. Oh, okay. What? Okay, hang on a second. I'm replying to Mike Cheney. He just told me that he is willing to come on right now with us. So I need to create a link and send it to you. I'm sending it to your M Cheney 911. Let me know in the chat if that is the correct email. I will wait for your reply. Yes, okay. So off it goes. Once you log on, I'll see you here and I'll bring you in. Okay. Yeah, so it's all about, for Nikon says, yeah, about the links. They're not bad links. It's just that they will cut them off. So apparently you have to reach a certain level of recognition to be able to post URLs. But Mike found a solution. So that is not an issue anymore. And I'm going to try December the 1st to get recognized, if that's a word. And so we'll go ahead and but I think this is going to be a heck of a lot easier. One single link. I don't have to worry about pasting all that stuff in. Mike has done the work for me. So all right, we'll continue on, and when we see Mike, I will see him here. Sir Mighty Moose, that is Rick Johnson. Thanks, Captain. I love it. All right. Oh, let me show you something real quick before Mike comes on. My sister found a really horrible it was almost like somebody took, remember I think it was like 127 film, those old people here. Remember, roll film on 127 was only like negatives about that big square. And so somehow they made like maybe a 2x enlargement of that. And the little print was about that big. And it was my mom, my dad, myself. I must have been about 3.5, maybe 4 years old, 4 years old probably. And what looked like maybe a little older because my sister looks about a year and a half old. And then my aunt and uncle, who were like 2.5 and 5 years older than me. And then my mom's mom. And then the grandma, my grandma called grandma. The woman she called grandma, which was not really her grandma. See, it's confusing. My mom's mom was one of 15 children, and she was like I think the last one. And so the brother number 13 married a Taino Indian back then, where the area of Puerto Rico where they lived in still had a lot of Taino population. Married a Taino woman and gave birth to no, became my grandma's grandma. Anyway, she took care of Sophia when she was a little girl. And so here is the old picture, and it's horrible. I tried to fix it as best as I could, and it's okay. But look at my grandma, my beautiful grandma. Look at her face. It's like, what's going on there? And then this is the woman that took care of her. So she would be basically her sister-in-law because she was married to one of her elder brothers. Then this is my Aunt Kay, my Uncle David. This is me, and this is my sister. So this goes back probably, I would say, 1952-ish, 53. Well, AI, Photoshop. And yeah, I cannot believe. And it was so low resolution, it was just ridiculous. So I was able to enhance it. You can see my mother's watch right here. I'm looking at crazy little detail. My mother's watch, blurry, much sharper. You can actually see the watch. So anyway, I was very thrilled to be able to get this. I'll probably reprint it and just maybe increase the saturation a bit more, give it a little bit more color. This is, of course, using the Strathmore paper, the linen type paper. Then I thought, why stop, right? So I think you guys saw me do this last week. This is the original scan. And my dad had a problem with his right eye. That's why he couldn't, he wanted to go into like flight school during the war, Second World War. And no, he couldn't because of the problem with his eye. The left eye is normal, the right eye is crossed, as you can see. So AI, and I fixed his eye and colorized it. And then this is my mom. See, sorry, Mom, my wife's dad, and that came out beautiful. She was very impressed. She doesn't say much. Janine just does not go, oh my God. No, she's not a very emotional person. But anyway, here's Mike. There you go. I'm sorry it sort of forced you into coming in.
No, that's all right.
Can you lower the camera a tiny bit so we can?
Yeah, let me see.
All right.
How's that? See my shirt?
What in the heck? I'm fine. Everything else is fine. Yeah.
That's my motto.
Yeah. How are you? God.
All right.
And thank you for that amazing bit of work you did. And you must have stayed up all night. You were bugging me with texts and messages all last night, man.
I was determined to find a way around that.
You were. If anyone could do it, it would be you. I don't know anything about it. I don't know how you came up with that, but I think that's really almost like the best way to go. I'm almost to the point where I don't care about, getting verified December 1st, because that's just a single link and people can just access it. They can copy it. They can actually save it as a um, internet,
Yeah.
yeah, link. Awesome. Anyway, so I had the URL that you posted on my Facebook group for the video about printing cards. And so that is a little bit different from what the method that you had originally came up with. Remember, you showed me
Yeah,
how to.
there's just some extras that I put in there that make it easier.
I'm thinking whether should I just play the video?
You could play the video, or I could share my screen and we could do it real
Yeah, go
time.
ahead. You do it, because then we
Yeah.
can ask questions and stuff.
Yeah, then I can pause and ask questions.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Let me see if I can remember how to share my screen here. Let's see. I've got to
see
put.
it pop up, and then I'll.
I think I got to put you on a.
I think it logged off. People said, Mr. Emmanuel says, hello, Mike, happy to see you. Anyway, those of you who are QImage users, if you have never seen who created QImage many, 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 many years ago, it's this dude right here. So
Can you hear me?
When did you first publish QImage?
1997 or 1998.
Really, that far back? I never realized it existed until about 2003-ish. And yeah, so I haven't stopped using it since. So
yeah, it's been a while.
It must have been okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still.
You cannot.
Do you remember what?
Yeah, this silly sharing StreamYard has changed everything on me. So
I click present?
There should be an icon down in at the bottom that says share screen.
Yeah, there's a little monitor with a plus.
Little monitor. Click on that.
That's what I did before, and it disappeared.
And
so
then, yeah, like all I could do is stop the sharing of the, my screen. So I can stop my sharing. I have I can post slides and PDFs. I can do an extra camera if I wanted to. I have two different viewpoints. Video, I can load a video file and play it. Image file, but you should have. There you go. Now I see you. Okay. See that? Add to stage. Come on, Adam. Before presenting a screen, remove other media streams from the stage. Oh, come on. So I have to take mine off. There you go. I had to remove mine, right. And there then I can bring yours in. So let's do this with the commonly available card stock from Red River, which is like 6.5. No, 6.25 by 9.
All right.
Okay.
That's the example I used in the video, I think, because that's a common size.
This is one that I made the long way with a template in Photoshop and so forth.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what QImage can do.
All right. The first thing I'll do is use that size. So under the paper size, I'll go to user defined here.
I'm going to put you full screen. We don't need to see ourselves here. There we go. All right.
Yeah. So I'm already on that ET8550, and I just selected user defined here, and I'll just type 6.25 by 9, and then click the check mark. And you can see that the paper's ready in that size. So I'll show you the things that I did kind of just go through it, and then we'll see if there's questions. I have a bunch of things that I created with AI, of course, over here. I think it was ChatGPT that I used for this one. And I'll click on this one. This is my favorite one. And what we're going to do is size the print first, and then we're going to position it. So to get the size right, what I want to do is, and here's the new option. With the thumbnail selected, I'll go over here to More, under Sizes, and then I'll make sure we check this, specify one dimension or a border size. And I know you use this one quite often, but what I've added here is half page border or quarter page border. So if I have an 1/8 of an inch, which I've already entered here, I'll just use that as an example, and I'll say half page and click OK. What that does is it sizes the print so that it has an 1/8 of an inch border for a half a page. Now, it's just the right size at this point. It's not in the right location. So I'm going to go over to this button here that says More Tools. This is the full page editor. And we're going to use these greeting card tools over here on the bottom right. So as you can see, when I roll over these, they show you what area you're dealing with over here on the preview. So if I click this bottom middle one, it's going to center it in the bottom half of the page. And when I click that, as you can see, it's perfectly aligned, 1/8 inch border on all sides, and I'm done. And that's all I got to do. If when I print that, it will look like this. If you look at the dashed line there, that's what your half page is going to look like after you fold it. And one other thing that I showed in the video is that, of course, you can get really creative with QImage. This is the easy way to do it, and the way that I've seen you doing it on your stream. Just half page, one fold. But you can also right click on this button, and that locks this dash area so you can see it and work with it. So if you want to select this print, which is already selected, and let's say make it a little bit smaller, and see, now that we've moved it, we'll have to click on this again to center it again, and then I'll just relock it with the right click.
So it's going to remain locked inside that space.
It actually, it doesn't remain. I mean, you can do this.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You can, you're free to do whatever you want.
Oh, okay.
So the MO here is like, you put it whatever you want. If you want it back in the middle there, just re-click this button and it'll drop it back in the middle.
Or so put it on the top if you wish to. Yeah.
Or yeah, you could put it up here. So I've got it down here and I've got it centered now. And I was just going to show, let me right click on this button again so that locks the dashed area so you can see what the page looks like. If I hold down the shift key and hit the up arrow, it moves it 1/8 of an inch at a time. So I could move it up a little bit, and then maybe I'll decide to add some floating text, which I've already put this in here from before.
Excellent. Yeah, that works.
And then once you get that done, the print is still selected here. I can shift down arrow. And to me, that looks centered with the text. Yeah, I can go up a little bit more. You know, if I want to handwrite something under there, maybe I want a little room under there.
Right.
But I'm just moving it around and eyeballing it to say, yeah, that looks centered. And, you know, you can move this text too by touching this little blue dot. That's the text icon. And you can take that and move it up and down. But, you know, just click done and there's your print. You can print it.
Okay, let me throw this idea at you. So let's just, the difference between that and the way that I've been doing it using the old style, create a template with a what they call a shape, which is like a mask. I could load, and there's people that are doing this literally for sale. They're creating cards for sale, and they want to have the ability to have one single file, in this case a PSD, with say 10 images loaded that you just turn on and off by clicking on the eyeball. So I can create a PSD with 10 of my favorite Christmas AI generated scenes, a single file with 10 cards in it, and I just turn all but one off, print 10 of them, turn that one off, turn the next eyeball on, print 10 of those, and so on and so on. Is there any way you can come up with a multi-layered image setup where one single job I can print 10 and then switch over to the next image and print 10, and or however many I want?
Yeah, let me show you. So
okay. All right.
If you still have my screen,
Yeah.
that's even easier in
Okay.
QImage. So let me just remove everything here. Go back. So let's say we've done what I just demonstrated. We have our card. We did our size, half page. We've gone into the full page editor here and centered it on the bottom. And now that looks great. That looks like what we want. When we go back here, use the power of QImage. QImage lets you save just about everything, including layouts. So at this point, when you see something that you like, you have this job and you like it, click down here on the placement button and choose Save Current as Custom Layout. And I'll just pick, I already have one called Card here. I'll just pick that and overwrite it. And now when I do that, this is now a layout. So
right, I can see the pink. Yeah.
Let me, I'm going to demonstrate this. I'm going to put it back in and tell a center, remove all. I'll even go to a different printer. But let's pretend this is a different day. Now I'm on the Canon. I didn't really want that one. I guess it doesn't matter. But now I'm on the Canon G620 that I have here. And I say, okay, I'm ready to print cards. What did I do? I know I saved that. So I'll come back here and drop this down again, this placement button, and see, it remembered it, but I'm not going to take the easy way out. I'm going to say Load Custom Layout, and I'll pick the one that I saved. I would have given it a better name probably if it was, not a test. And then I'll click Open, and there's my layout. Right. Now, all of these cards up here, all I got to do is click the plus button on this one. That gives me a card of that. I click the plus button on this. That gives me a card of that. Plus button on this one. So now I have 3 pages, one of each of those cards. And I can keep going.
QImage already has some pre-saved layout templates, right?
It does, but not for cards.
Right. No. I mean other types of layouts, like multiple, like doing what do they call those? At the school when your kid brings home one sheet of 11 by 8.5, and it's got multiple sizes on it.
You can
package. Yeah.
Yeah, you can develop picture packages in here and anything that you want to do. And
okay, so then in order for me to toggle through, say, a set of 5 images, you have how many here? You have 1, 2, 3, 4. Load several images and then walk me through how you would go about printing, say, 5 of each.
Well, there's several ways to do that. Let me show you one more thing. I'll make this layout even better. Let me add, I'll say, add one of these that we're working with, and then I'll place that where I want it. And then I made some insides of the card that look like this, so that it looks nice and decorative. Mm-hmm. And in order to, I'll do the same thing with this one, centered on the bottom. So now I have, this is going to be the outside of the card, and when you flip it open, this will be the inside, and you can, it's nice and decorative, and you can hand write something on there if you like. But in order to do this, you would print this and then flip the page over and rotate it 180 degrees and feed it back into the printer and then print this page. And the way that you would do that is you go to this page and you say, okay, I'm going to print that now. And you use this little print button here, not the main one up here, but the little one. And that will print the current page only. So you print that, and once it's done, you flip it over, turn the page upside down and rotate it 180 degrees so that it prints. And then you go to the next page and you say print current page only, and that'll print this page. Okay. And so that this will be on the back top. Yeah, and so when you fold the page,
reload the paper in the correct orientation.
Yeah. So when you fold the page, this is actually going to be on the inside. Mm-hmm. Now, the beauty of this is, again, use the power of QImage. Come down here and do Save Current as a Custom Layout. And I'll just call this card inside Oh, let's see, front
Outer in, yeah. Outer,
and inside.
yeah, inside. Yeah.
And I'll say I'll start using that layout. So now we have this layout that we can use. If I remove everything, you can see what it is. It's a template here and a template on the first page. This is page 1, this is page 2. So I can go here and say, I want this to be my first card that I do. This is going to be the outside, and this is going to be the inside. You can go to page 2 and you'll see that that's there. And on the next one, I might want this on the outside and the green pattern on the inside. So now you can see, this is page 4, 3, 2, 1, and they're all set up. And let's say you did a bunch this way, or even just multiple copies. Then you're gonna ask, well, now what I really need to do is print the odd pages first, because this is going to be all on the same side.
Right.
And then I want to go back and print the even pages, flip the pages upside down, put them back in the printer. And then I want to print this one and this one. You can do that up here under Edit, Preferences, Page Formatting, and you do collate pages and then just say prompt for odd even pages. That way, when you go to print, it'll ask you, do you want the odd pages or the even pages? And you can print a whole stack that way.
Yeah. Not printing on the inner surface. You better not be printing on like RC paper. This better be stock.
Now that's why I have this, because I have some double-sided matte.
Right. Okay.
And I actually did this way. So well, yeah, that's a good thing to.
Even the normal Red River stock that you can buy, such as this Aurora Art White. This is a fiber-based paper. If you buy they have a fancier one that's more like a rag type of paper, and you can print that pattern that you created. It'll print fine. There's not going to be any problems with wicking or, modeling, little droplets like you would if you print on a resin coated paper. So this is really meant, like I would have a problem possibly. Let me see what else I got here. This is premium gloss. Now this might be.
Yeah, you don't want to do it on that.
You don't want to print on that on the opposite side, because you're going to print on the wrong side of the paper. In other words,
I actually had an old pack of Epson double-sided matte paper.
Yeah.
And that's what I use for these cards.
Who else sells pre-scored cardstock? I don't really know. I haven't really paid much attention to search.
I don't know either.
See who else has that, because that makes it in envelopes that come with it. If you buy the full pack, ready to be used, ready to be sent out. Let me see here. So this paper, this is one I did, and the back.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah, the back is nice and smooth. It's not coated with anything. I could print that pattern or create.
Yeah, I think that looks nice.
Or, give it a nice little inside look. And then the only thing is the envelopes are a little bit too large. Like,
yeah, that's okay though.
Yeah, they're okay, but I would like something a little bit more fitted. But what the heck,
I mean, I had to cut a sheet of paper to 6.25 by 9 when I did it, because I didn't have any. So you could cut your paper to whatever size you want, and this is still going to work.
That works. And the 8550 can print on envelopes, no problem at all. There's a little thick mode that you click on the printing modes, and it allows you to print on something that has several layers of paper without any problems at all. Yeah, pretty good.
That's the good thing about borders.
Yeah, what am I running? Let me see. Did I not just update recently? Let me see. Let me load my QMH. Yeah, I'm on 108. Is that the latest or
109 is the latest?
Oh, geez. Okay, no wonder.
So that's all right. You can update it later.
Yeah. All right.
But to answer your question about the copies, you know what we did here? We have 4 pages in there. We had one greeting card and one inside, and then a different greeting card, and then another inside. So we've got 4 pages.
Mm-hmm.
So the easiest way to deal with this, let's say that these are the 2 kinds of cards you want to send out, and you want 10 copies of each. The easiest way to deal with that is to just, in the driver, when you go to print, just set copies here to 10.
Right.
And that's going to print 10 pages of each. And then you're going to have 10 fronts and 10 backs. And of course, if you use that trick that I showed you where you can collate and print odd pages only, then it'll give you 10 copies of each of the odd pages. You can flip those over, put them back in the printer, and do 10 copies of the even pages. And there's your 10 cards.
But I would tell people in order to not get confused as they reload the paper, the leading edge is not going to receive any printing. Only the bottom half, the trailing half, is going to be printed on. So when you flip it over again, make sure that it's oriented so that the first 50% of that area receives no print. You know, it's upside down. In other words, it's going to be
right.
flipped. So it can be confusing.
You kind of have to think about it for a second.
Yeah, but I was doing these borderless album pages, and I found a binding place that could actually. I had some dual printed Barita, beautiful paper, Barita, double coated, and I was doing these album pages, and they would create these gorgeous seamless albums out of my prints back when I was doing weddings. And yeah, you got to be very careful. Otherwise, you're going to end up with one that's correct, and then the other one, the other page, everybody's standing upside down. So you don't realize that until it starts to come out. You go, oh, crap.
Yeah. Well, let me show you something on that topic. Let me get rid of these things here and go back. Okay, I do have one that's portrait orientation here. So let me show you on this one. I'll take this one and then go to more sizes. And then I'll do a quarter of a page this time with an 1/8 inch border for a quarter page. And that gives me that size. And actually, let me add it one more time. And now I can come in here to the full page editor, and I can put one copy in the top left corner and one copy in the bottom right corner. And now I have a 2-fold card that when you fold it twice, this is going to be the outside and this will be the inside. But the thing you have to do, the good thing about this is that it all prints on the same side of the paper. I won't say bad, but the catch is you have to turn this one upside down. So you're going to take this and go like that.
Correct.
Now, when you fold it, you can see that this one down here will be your outside and this one will be the inside.
Correct.
And again, you can take this and make it smaller if you like. And then let me put it back in there again. And I'll take it and shift arrow key, move it down a bit. And then I'll have my text, put my text in here, and I'll flip the text 180 degrees. So now that's your inside. And, you know, you can move this around if you want to write something in here too, something like that. Yeah, so that's how you create a double fold card.
Right. Double folded. Yeah. Interesting.
And like I said, with this, it's nice because this way you get a smaller card, obviously, but you can print everything. You know, each page is done. Like this page, when you print it, it's done because the inside ends up already being on the same side of the paper. You've just folded it twice. So you don't have to feed the pages in a second time like you do with a single fold card if you want a fancy inside flap. Just one page per card.
And it really wouldn't matter if the back is really non-printable.
Yeah, I mean, you could print something on the back here too. On this, you just put something in here.
Sure.
So
but it's all the same surface, though. It's just the way you fold it. You end up with what seems to be an inner surface and an outer surface.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very good.
So that's those. I did want to show you something I think you're going to find handy. I noticed that you do things like this. You'll go to the more sizes and you'll do
I use
a full page. You'll do a full page and let's say a 1/2 inch border. and then you say, oh, whoops, look, I'm still on the 6 1/4 by 9 inch. I have to go change my paper size back to letter because that's what I want to use now. And you'll change your size to letter, and then you have to redo the size. That's the way it was in the past, but now it recognizes that you use that 1/2 inch border. So now if I change to letter size, look what it did.
Oh, thank you.
You've still got your 1/2 inch border here
Yeah.
because it realized you still want a 1/2 inch border even though your paper
Yes.
size changed.
Yes.
And now all I've got to do is go into the full page editor here and use the cropping tool, drag this down a little bit so the season's greetings is not cut off, and click done. And we still have our 1/2 inch border. As you can see, you can verify that in the full page editor. You see 1/2 inch on all 4 sides here.
Okay.
So I made that a lot easier. And it's the same case if you do fit to page. You see how that's fit to page now?
Mm-hmm.
And now if I go and I haven't tested this. This better work.
Different size.
Different size. Now I do 6.25, or I got 7.25. 6.25 by 9. Click the checkbox. See how that's still fit to page?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't say your print's too big for a page. It just does it now. So I figured that would help too, because it should really recognize the fact that you chose fit to page, and that's what you want. So if you change your page size, you probably still want fit to page on the new page size. Before, you had to click on the print again and then resize it, click fit to page again. So the only other thing that I'll say is that might help you too is just remember, everybody remember in QImage, it's click on the object, click on the size. So if I click on this thumbnail again and I click fit to page, I'm going to get a second page down here.
Right.
Now I've got 2 pages.
Yeah.
So
And
now let me delete that.
I will not notice that. And I get this, hey, you have no paper, you idiot.
Yeah, or the wrong
Really
size ends up printing because you're looking at page 2 and it actually prints page 1.
Right.
So that you do have to watch out for. But if you just remember, click on object and then size, then you'll realize this is the object you want to change. So click on the print and then click on the size, and it'll change it any size you want. It'll keep changing it.
Yeah.
So, but if you go back to the thumbnails and you click here again, and then you click 5 by 7, you're going to get another page because it knows you said thumbnail 5 by 7, which means give me another print of this one.
Yeah, one of the mistakes that I have made is to not pay attention, and it's set to poster mode. And
that'll happen less often now, I think, because fit to page won't missize things.
Right. Excellent.
So all of those things are in 109, so you can download that later.
You're going to be making short video clips describing all of these different methods.
Yeah,
I'm going to demand that. I'm telling you.
That's in the video that you were going to play, as opposed to me doing it live. It's all in
we can go ahead and study that and learn. Because, of course, you know how it is. For years, people complain, "Oh, you're using a proprietary menu system." Of course, you created it. So
yeah, well, it's designed for printing. It's not
Lightroom. You're not copying existing long.
Yeah, and the reason is because QImage is not a photo editor that just happens to be able to print. This is print centric. It's all about printing. So you want the controls that are most optimal for printing, rather than printing being an afterthought.
How's your other partner doing? Okay,
he's good. He just went to London.
Did he?
And just got back a few days ago.
So because I noticed he was correcting or helping someone out that had an issue with Mac, and there's a lot of people using Mac and using QImage at this point, so as well.
Yeah.
And it would be fantastic if I could somehow reach out to those who are using Mac and having to put up with major OS updates and then problems and issues cropping up, as they seem to always do. and I would have to have what's his first name? I'm sorry,
Andrew.
Andrew. Andrew. I would
Yeah.
have to have. I would love to have Andrew and you, if possible, um, so that he can answer some of those questions that come up
Yeah,
with
we can do that.
all the time. Yeah, yeah,
He's always addressing new problems that arise because there's bugs in their latest operating system update or whatever, or it does things differently. And we, you know, not to toot our own horn too much, but we're the first ones to correct those. We'll do workarounds and we'll fix these things before they really become an issue. So
yeah. People start
um,
speculating, and they start, coming up with, oh, it's a conspiracy. Oh, it's this and that. Canon doesn't like Apple. Canon doesn't like Windows. Epson,
now it's just
well,
a
there's
different way
got to
of
be
it.
some issues. I mean, you upgrade, give it a new name, you come up with a brand new OS. It's not like Windows, well, how long has 10 been around? Forever, and then became 11. My wife has 11 upstairs, and I have the 1500 running on Wi-Fi for her, the Epson 1500.
Yeah.
That's all she needs. She just needs to print her medical PDFs that get sent to her by her doctor, and that's it. We don't use it for photo printing anymore. But I would hate to have to redo things if every time did I'm on auto update anyway, so I wake up and there's an update took place overnight. My printers still work. Why can't that be the case?
Yeah.
Something that I would point blank ask Andrew. And what's the issue? Someone has to be the one causing this. By someone, I mean an entity. Is
Well,
it Apple? Is
unfortunately,
it Canon? Is it Epson?
Apple seems to come out with operating system updates that can break software so
Yeah,
that
I mean,
they do something
not
new.
just
And
drivers, not just printing or
no,
editing,
it's the whole
other.
printing system that
Yeah,
they break sometimes. And
yeah,
I always tease Andrew, like, what is Apple doing? How could they put this out knowing that it's going to break all the previous software and you're going to have to get an update to make it work right again?
yeah. Is
Then
it?
on the other hand, Windows, you'll get a Windows update, and then all of a sudden all of your printers disappear from printers and
Yeah,
scanners. So
I have
it's
never had
like
that
six in one
happen.
hand, half a dozen in the other.
I have never had that happen, and
I've had that
I
happen
I
twice.
had one issue one time with my Pro 1000 that it would not. I could not send anything to it, and I don't know how I fixed it. I think I just reinstalled the driver, but that was it. Dude, since I was using 3.1 Windows, I've been able to
Yeah.
print. And my
No,
my
that's it.
my
Microsoft is very good about being backward
yeah,
compatible.
my old R340s, I can still install them. Why can I do that? And yet these guys that are unfortunately using, I don't mean that as a criticism, but why do they no longer can run a printer just because it's 12 years old?
Yeah.
Come on. No, 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 no. I should be able to use it just
Well,
because the
it's
driver
like,
hasn't been released for that printer by that particular company, meaning, Windows or Apple, for the last 5 years doesn't mean I shouldn't be able to use the last printer profile, or not profile, a driver that was released 5 years ago. I can do that. I can run my
yeah.
1400. You know,
Well, there
why?
are some printers that don't have a driver past XP, and those
Right.
don't work anymore.
and
But they're
and
like 20, 25 years old.
my friend who runs Apple cannot run my 1400 because he cannot. There's no driver for
Hey,
it.
I rag on them both, Apple and Microsoft. If you have
Yeah,
the latest version of Windows that just came out, the latest Insider version of Windows, now whenever you open Task Manager and close it, there's an orphan copy of Task Manager. So if you open Task Manager 5 times during the day, you'll have 5 orphan copies of Task Manager
crazy.
sitting in Task Manager, taking up memory.
Yeah,
And the workaround is when you open Task Manager, pick the Task Manager task and end it instead of
and
closing the
yeah,
window.
don't close it because it stays open.
So it's always something. You
It's
just
like
have to
it's
keep
just
on top of it.
it's becoming minimized instead of actually closing it down.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
pretty
seems
much.
seems
Yeah,
like that's what's
it's
going
crazy.
on.
Oh man. So
Um,
what do you have in mind for this coming year? Is there
well,
any?
let me do short term first. Later today or tomorrow, I have a video coming out, and it's a really good one on drivers. And it focuses on what a driver is, how is it connected to Windows, why do we have so many of them, why do we need one for each printer, and what are the potholes that you can kind of drive over and wreck your prints. And color management's one of them, double profiling. Paper size is another one. But I won't spoil the whole video, but that's going to be a video for everybody, not just QImage.
Yeah. And I noticed that still, even in fairly advanced Epson drivers, you still have the option for sRGB mode.
Yeah.
For print. Why would you, why don't they just somehow automate proper color management within the driver? I know you can go to, let the driver control color and just use what is it? The mode that will link to the profile. ICM, and just automatically link it to ICM.
Right. Well, QImage does that.
Why do you give some poor guy who's starting out the option to screw up?
Right. Well, that's what the video is about. It's like,
don't let them.
Yeah, QImage will keep you out of those potholes, but what if you're using something else? What if you're using Lightroom or you're printing a web page or something, or printing a PDF? You still need to know how to use your driver. And that's the thing. A lot of these programs, they presume that you know something about the driver. You know how to operate it in all these different modes. So that's what that'll be about.
Being very discriminate and well, I'm not going to create this driver for some dummy who doesn't know how to do color management.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to
try to help people. I don't.
Tough luck, fella.
Yeah.
Come back later after you take a 6 month.
I try to understand that not everybody is used to this stuff, and I try to help people out. So the other big thing, obviously, is the Black Friday sale, which we're calling Black November because it's the whole month of November.
There you go. Did you hear that?
It's the cheapest prices. It's the cheapest prices that I can remember. We're back to like 2018 prices. We're $30 off the regular versions, $50 off of others, $70 off a site license. So it's a huge sale for new versions. So that's going on, and I just did I saw the question in your chat when I peeked at it a few minutes ago. The new forum, the DDI software. It used to be called Mike Cheney's Tech Corner. Now it's just DDI Software Community. And so that old forum was so outdated, there's really no way to update it cleanly and transfer it to a new one. So I just started a new forum, and I put the old one in archive. So you can still see all the posts, you can still search, you can still find everything. All the tens of thousands of posts are still in there for reference. But we have a new forum now. It's a lot nicer, a lot more secure. It's up to date with all the latest, security patches and everything. And I figured it's better to start off with that. We had something like, I think 6,000 or 7,000 users on the old forum. But when I started looking into it, you know how things happen. That forum's at least 15 years old. And, half of the emails in there were probably spam bots. You don't know which ones are legit or not. So I didn't want to bring all that stuff over. So I just made a new forum. I made a link from the old one to the new one and from the new one to the old one. And we're just going to start over clean and have a good, clean forum where everybody can see all the topics and where I announce all the QImage versions and everything. And we got over 100 users so far, but hopefully that'll keep going forward.
Sure that I joined that.
And as far as the farther out future, some of the things we're thinking about is language packs. Let's say, for example, Spanish. We give users the option to show all the menus and things like that in Spanish. We're looking into that. I'm not going to make any promises on any of this, but we got some things, some interesting things that we can do in 2026 coming up. So those, I won't do any spoilers.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good, man. Sounds good. After we get off here, well, I log off. I'm going to go ahead and start installing that link you gave me. I no longer need to have all of that listed.
Yeah, and I think
your first attempt really it still didn't work because my
it didn't work everywhere. It worked on PC, but not on the phone.
I couldn't use my finger and select and copy. Yeah.
When you do that link, I think all you have to do is the jtoolman dot, what is it?
Yeah. I don't have to
Netlify
do it.
dot app.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have to put the slash at the end, I don't
Right.
think.
Yeah.
So that's even shorter. Just use the letters, and I think everybody will be able
I'll
to
just,
see it.
instead of having a whole list of stuff, I'll just put that link on there.
Yeah.
I just wish there was a way to automate the process where you can select all the videos that you have uploaded and then automatically change everything. You got to do it one by one. So
Yeah,
go
I
in,
know.
open up that, and select and delete, and then paste.
Yeah.
But it'll get done. I'm up to like 260 something videos right now. So I think I only have like, you would think I would have millions of videos, but no, it was only like total 2,000. And I didn't get to rescue all of them. So I
Yeah.
have two STS SSD files here. I mean, hard drives with most of the stuff that's relevant.
You know what
And
I just thought of that might be interesting? Instead of going in order, you could do like one throwback and one recent, one throwback and one recent. So in other words, there's there's a there's a benefit to starting from the most recent and working backwards, because so that you're more relevant that way. But you want the old ones in there too, because it's stuff that people have forgotten about. So that's just a
yeah, I
suggestion if
mean,
you
I
if you wanted
will
to do that.
usually scan through the video before I upload it and decide whether this is relevant to today. In other words, color management is relevant regardless. But
Right.
certain things are just not going to matter this day and age. So those get put, I put those in another folder and forget about them. Um, then I had all sorts of different video categories, and some of them were not related. So I got to dissect my way through the list and remove the ones that have nothing to do with printing. I had family stuff there as well. I did a
Yeah.
lot of drone flying.
I like this. I still remember the one with the pig race.
Yeah. So
I
maybe
like
I
the
will
pig
do a
race.
playlist on just those later on once I get closer to like the most recent. I have another drive with the most recent stuff because I finally got wise and I thought, you know what? Let me save the whole folder that I use in Premiere to
Yeah.
create this video instead of just saving just the video, the final video. Let me that way I can just reopen it in Premiere and change something if I was. So I finally did that, and all of those are like the last 500 of them are in my second drive, but I'm not even close enough to get there yet. So, but I like the idea. Maybe I'll go back and do that and do a
Yeah, I
current
think I
one.
think
And
some people like to
I
see,
just got to keep track what you know.
yeah, somewhere you'll meet in the middle. If you
Right.
do one of the recent ones and one of the old ones, they're going to meet in the middle somewhere. And then the people that are interested in the recent stuff can focus on those, and the people who want the throwbacks. I like the throwbacks too, because I watched one. I don't know. I guess it was yesterday. You still had a little bit of hair.
Actually, I'm letting it grow. Look at the side.
It looks good either way.
Yeah. Anyway, my hat is horrible. God, it always sits crooked. Anyway, mm,
So yeah, well, it's good to be on the
yeah.
stream, and I know it's been a while, but
And once your buddy gets back, let's make a date and
yeah,
get
he's back.
together.
But now
Oh,
now
he
we're
is.
busy
Okay.
with all the sales stuff and
Yeah. All right. Very good.
notifications and
Very
stuff
good.
like that. So, but we'll get on here, both of us.
My wife will be ecstatic that you finally got a guest.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
hey, this is good because you never know. Now when it's an unannounced guest, people will
that's right.
figure maybe I better tune in.
We
You
have
never know
30
who's going to
people.
show
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. And the
Yeah.
thing that happened was once I disappeared from YouTube, and they were really mean. YouTube was really horrible. Uh, the first time this happened, they had no aware that these people were doing this. They had no idea these people were hacking and hijacking people's channels and then selling their
Yeah.
baloney cryptocurrency thing. And my channel earned like $2,000 in a matter of like 3 days.
Yeah.
And
I can
so
imagine.
when YouTube finally realized, they closed them out, kicked them out, and gave me that money.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, I ended up, getting that money that they had maliciously earned.
Well, do you know about dead internet theory? You know about that?
What?
It's the dead internet is basically when there's nobody live on the internet anymore. It's all bots. And we're getting very close to that now because even YouTube now, I think it's more than half. And I think X is over 70, 80%. I don't know the exact numbers, but it's more than half. It's mostly automated AI bots that
Yeah.
are responding to this. And sometimes the bots argue with each other.
Right.
And the dead internet theory is like there's nothing but like dead AI stuff on there. There's nothing live on there anymore. It's all just AI garbage now.
Right.
It's
What
hard
is
to
that
find
chat
anything.
G something?
ChatGPT.
Yeah. So this guy did on two phones, started a conversation with both,
Yeah.
and they just would not stop. They
Yeah,
would
they'll
not
argue
stop
with each
talking.
other.
Ridiculous. This is what we're coming into. Oh God, I hate it. I like
And
the
well,
idea.
the problem with it is this. I follow a guy named Brian Cox, and he's a physicist over in the UK. And I watched some of his theories on black holes and his talks on things like that. I was looking for something specific the other day, so I searched Brian Cox. I don't know, black hole theory or something. I can't remember what the phrase was, but I knew what it was. I could not find him because I got hundreds and hundreds of videos that said Brian Cox sleepy zone, fall asleep with Brian Cox. And I'm like, what is this? And I never did find the video because it's these AI bot channels.
Mhm.
And if you click on one of these videos, it's like an 8 or 9 hour video that's supposedly for if you want to fall asleep to his voice.
Mhm.
I'm like, who in the world would think of something like that and put this
Wow.
many videos on there to begin with? And when you click on it, it's actually an AI deep fake of Brian Cox saying something. It's not
Wow.
even his own videos. I'm
Wow.
like, I'm scratching my head. Like, I mean, this is what things are. This is why it's hard to sell software. It's hard to be a content creator these days. This
Yeah, you
AI
can't put
stuff is just stealing everything.
Yeah, I fixed my dad's eye. Look, and you would never know it if you never knew my dad. Let me go to me full. If you never knew my dad, you would never notice that his right eye was actually crossed, but here is perfectly fine.
Yeah. Well, see, that's
And
the
it
good
looks
side.
and it
That's
looks
the good side
exactly
of
like my
AI.
dad.
But
And
it's becoming, you're using it for a good thing. I use AI tools to help me find things in code, find bugs and stuff like that. Those are the good things, but the bad things are all these AI bots and the bots that are out there, driving a wedge between Americans. They'll intentionally go out there and come up with concoct their own conspiracy theories and get this side against that side and everything. And it's turning out to where it was like this, where the good side was up here and the bad side's down here. And I think it's starting to cross where there's more bad AI now than there is good. And that's what really worries me about it.
yeah,
There are people that use it responsibly, like you and I, but there's also all these bad
well,
actors
those are
that
my
are,
friends here. They're creating beautiful art with it.
yeah, yeah.
I
And it's great for that.
change the subject. I saw a video that you have posted many months ago. It was about a young man driving a Tesla. Remember?
Yeah.
And he accidentally, well, no, the Tesla was on auto drive and all of a sudden went off the road. And you
Yeah.
did the analysis and found out what the reason for the accident was.
Yeah. You could see in the data the torque on the
Yeah,
steering wheel
folks, if you can
where
find this
he's the one
video,
who did it. I
yeah,
don't think he realizes did it.
yeah.
Maybe his knee did it or something, but he was the one who drove it off the road.
If you can find this video, folks, on his channel, I was in awe how well you analyzed that. And
Well, other people analyzed that too, and I saw
yeah.
their analysis, and I thought I saw a couple other things too. So I
What
did.
conclusion did everyone else come to?
Everybody came to the same
The
conclusion.
same conclusion, yeah.
We can see the torque on the steering wheel, which means
Right.
you physically disengaged it and overrode it and drove it into the ditch.
Right.
And the presumption was probably your knee hit it when you're grabbing something on the side,
Right.
and that's what happened.
That caused, that to happen, and then, but then the auto drive disengages, right? And
Yeah.
he then overcompensated and went off the road. God, I tell you. Then you blame Tesla.
Yeah. Well, I have a Tesla, so I
Yeah.
have an interest in that kind of stuff
Anyway,
too.
all right. Okay, man. That must have been one of our kids calling, probably. Um, hey, it was wonderful having you, and thank you so very much for that little trinket you created for me. And
Hey, yeah, if you need any changes, just
see
let
you
me know.
yeah. And folks, take advantage of that sale, please. Come on, don't let it go
Yeah,
by.
go get QImage, talk about it
Yeah,
online,
use
social
that link.
media.
Where's it at?
I don't
Where's
think we're
that?
going to have prices this low for quite a while. But
Right.
Andrew and I talked about it, and we're both thinking that the economy is probably worse than people really admit at this point. You know, the government shut down and everything. People really
There
need a
you
break.
go. Copy this down, folks. Give yourself a
So
Christmas present. You will never regret it. I
yeah,
guarantee you. So
go to that link and click on QImage Ultimate if you're in Windows, or QImage
yeah.
One if you're
And
Mac.
this
And
automatic, no, the one that that's in here automatically seems to lead you to the double discount, right? To my
well,
discount.
in when we're
It's me.
having sales now,
Yeah.
it's not a double discount anymore. We
Okay.
sent
Okay.
out
Well, you got a
we
huge
sent out
discount. I
that
noticed that.
yeah, we
Oh,
sent out
that's
that information
fantastic.
to the affiliates. But so you still, it automatically routes you to the best deal, which right
Okay.
now is the Black Friday
Okay. All
deal.
right. Great.
But the good thing is you get credit, just like Amazon,
Right. Right. Right.
because you're our affiliate. You still get the same Black Friday price, but now Jose gets a cut, and we
Okay.
support our favorite printer guy.
Oh,
So now, yeah, it's not a double discount, but you know, it's kind of a
yeah.
double. You're sending Jose a little
But
bit too.
yeah, sometimes when you do a simple, well, during the year, people can still get what is it, 10% off, right?
Yeah, it's always. eh,
With
let
my
me put
link.
it this: the easy way to put it is when we're not running a sale, you will
Okay.
get a discount on top of your affiliate.
Okay. All right.
When we're running a sale, you get the sale price because that's going to be more than
Right.
your
More than
affiliate,
the double. Yeah.
more than the $10 or whatever it was would
Right.
be.
All right. Very
So
good.
that's the way it works.
Harold says, thanks, Mike. This is my good buddy from Wisconsin. This guy is printing God, I call him, because he has gone through hell with a couple of well, no, several Pro 1000s and 1100s. Finally, he's good to go. He's got them working, and Canon has been pretty good with them, replacing them. So if he says thank, I would take that to the bank, man, Mike. And he uses your software.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So anyway, okay, man, I'll let you go. Let me go ahead and
All
see
right.
what time is it. Oh, almost 2 hours. Wow. Okay, so let me let you go. Thank you so much, man. And
All right. Hey, and
I don't,
I hope your wife feels much better.
yeah, yeah,
I
she's
know
doing
what it's
okay.
like to be in pain. So
Oh
no,
yeah,
take care of her. I know you will.
she has to learn how to breathe now again
Yeah,
because breath is
shallow breaths.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you,
All right.
thank you, thank you.
Thanks for having me on.
All right.
Let's
Bye
see you
bye.
next time. All right. Bye.
All right, that was quite a surprise, folks. Wow, I had no clue he was gonna jump in and join us today. Let me see. Let's go back to where we may have left off here. Yeah. So this is where he asked for the link. This is Rick. He calls himself Moose. I would not call myself that. Come on, you're too good a guy, man. I had Rick convert 3 sets of cartridges. I leave 1 set blank. Okay, excellent. And again, so when you go into that little um, app, if you want to call it that, it's a link. It will take you to the multiple separated subjects, and you can click on those, and then again, easy. I don't know how he did that, but it is awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and post it on my video descriptions after this. Um, Let me make sure that I don't miss anyone else who may have posted something. For an Icon 780, too bad the links didn't work earlier. Red River had a site-wide 10% discount. I don't know how they're going to handle that, whether it's the same as what QMH is doing, where a double 10% would be actually less than the actual discount that they're giving you. I don't know how they're handling that. So, but keep using it. I hope I see something coming maybe before Christmas. I just got their notice this month, and it says 0. So I don't know what's going on. I really don't know. All right. Okay, so I think he saw this and must have answered that about the forum. Good. Glad for asking. And this is what I love when we have someone like that on, because they're able to answer questions immediately. Forum Icon says, thanks Mike for making printing so simple. Great program it is. I tell you, when I was starting out, I was looking for someone or something that would allow me to print multiple images in one sheet of paper. You got to remember, this was like late 1900s, 1998, 99, and printers were just, I think I got my first printer back in, my first computer was in just before the turn of the century. Remember the 2000 scare where computers were supposed to die? Of course they did not. I had an Epson 780, and it used two cartridges, one with 5 colors and one black. And it, at that time, it produced beautiful results. Problem is, the prints faded within a month or so. But yeah, so internet search for pre-scored card stock inkjet, and you will find tons of suppliers, manufacturers. Great. Thank you so much for that, man. I will definitely take a look at that. Harold says, I saw an AI of Brian Cox lecturing at a university, then smoothly transitioned into unlikely theories. It took 10 minutes to figure out he wouldn't propose this idea. Yeah, it's terrible. I don't even look at stuff anymore because you just cannot believe anything anymore. That's why I don't get political here, because there's no point. And besides, we don't allow that. Really, it's just pointless. Let's do printing. Okay. Yes, extremely nice. I tell you. I used to call my dad Moose. This is Mikey saying that, because when he got mad, his nostrils would flare out. Does that happen to you, Rick? I don't think so, man. You're too nice. And just remember to click that like button. Yes, absolutely. Thank you. All right, let's do one print. Remember I printed this last week. I got to get this done because I don't know if you guys heard what I said, but I had set up this image of the tree, this beautiful tree right here, upstairs. It's one of the images that my wife said, oh no, I like this one. You get to keep this upstairs on our wall. I said, thank you, honey. So we put it back up, and I must have used the early double sticky tape to put the wooden piece of MDF that I used to put on the back of the prints. And then I would put a block of wood like this, the 1/2-inch thick one, and then the screwed on hanger. And this would also be double sticky tape attached. It fell off and the corner became completely damaged. I threw it out. So I printed another one because she says, what happened to my print? I said, oops. Yeah. So I had to immediately come up with a replacement. Here is the aluminum, set a 9x12. Let me go ahead and peel this off. It's been sitting under the heat press there, getting warm. So let me attach this here. We'll put a little bit of tape around it and make sure that I want to get most of that bottom portion. I don't care if I miss a little bit of the sky. That's not critical. Okay, so that's about right there. I'm just going to put 4 pieces of tape all the way around. I'm going to pre-warm. It should be nice and warm already, but I'll do it again anyway, just for insurance. Get rid of all that moisture that may be still there. One more. A few weeks ago, I decided to clean up my area under my desk. I removed all the cables that were coming from other printers that are no longer working and cleaned up nicely. I found this little SD card. When I looked at it on the floor, it said 128 gigabytes. What a find. So I put it on one of my little card readers here, and I'm going to use that on my video camera. But wow, I was so shocked to see that. Okay, this is good enough. And we'll place this on top. And press it. Let me straighten this out. It's a little crooked. Come on. There you go. Always want to make sure you center this as much as you can on your working space of your heating plating. So if it's, in this case, it's like 15 by 15. So I want to make sure that my 9 by 12, at least a 12-inch length, is center as well as possible. I don't want to too near the edges because I don't trust that edge is the same temperature as the more centralized areas. You got to be really careful about that. So I am going to look at that video from Mike Chaney a little bit later on today. We didn't get to a lot of the topics that I was going to talk about, but that's good because we were able to have Mike here, and we've been dying to have him on board. I knew he must have heard when I said, we need to have you come on. He must have heard that. So that's good. I'm very, very glad about that. So 29. Okie doke. So let's wait and see what happens. I'm going to get a piece of material here to put in the back because I gotta take this upstairs and pretty much immediately mount it. So we'll just use one of these smaller pieces. Right here, we'll pop that in the back with some crazy glue, and let me show you. Let's see, that's 5 seconds. Gotta make sure that I don't delay that too long. And here we go. Now I have to say this: I don't remember ever waiting a whole week before I print something that I prepped. So this sheet has been here for a whole week. I don't know if that's going to have any detrimental effects or not. No, apparently not. Use my elbow because that's really, really hot. We'll look at the transfer. Very even. I don't see any blotchiness anywhere where there's any remnants of the deeper areas, the higher density areas. Beautiful. So I'll let that cool down a little bit before I dare touch it. Okay. Seems to be safe. Yeah, still a little bit hot, but not so hot that I cannot touch it. Yeah, that looks lovely. That tape sticks everywhere. Okay, that's gone. Let me turn this on and take a look at that. So that came out beautiful. Lovely. I'm looking for any kind of surface defects. The last one that I did last week had a little tiny, like a little dent in the coating. And so, unfortunately, that did create a little bit of a dimple, but nothing really bad. The image is still really good, and actually, it's right here. I think this is the one. Maybe not. This is one that I did last week. You can remember that one, and then this might be the one right here. Let me see. No, I don't see it. Maybe I already mounted it and took it upstairs. Anyway, regardless. So let's go ahead and continue doing what we're doing here. So I'm going to attach this to the back. But before I do that, I'm thinking from now on, make sure that I have oriented this the correct way. The biggest mistake you can make is to mount it and it's flipped upside down. Yeah, you'll kick yourself you know where. So I use my ruler here and just very roughly find a center point. So this material is like, I would say 8 inches long. Well, it's metric, so it's not quite 8 inches. So here's my center point. Right about like that. I'll just put a little mark on it. Sorry that I wish I had a camera that could show you what I'm doing here. But simply, I just made a little center mark. Right there on the top, right there, center mark. So now I'm going to find the same center mark on this aluminum. Again, it's actually 30 centimeters. Not what you would think it is. So I'm going to mark at 15 centimeters. Right there. And then I'm going to use one of my gauges. Or maybe, I don't know, let's see. Maybe I'll just mark 2 inches from the top. I just want 2 little marks so that I can line this up correctly. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfectly center because we're going to actually add a little block. And then that little block will have is that going to be enough? Let me see. No, that's too much. So maybe, I can use one of these. I have a lot of little gauges that I have made here. So I'm just going to line this up like so on the top and then draw a line. Because this is going to put it almost dead center. Let me double check. Yep, we're spot on, as they say. Okay, so I got the center mark. You can't see that anyway. And then a horizontal line over mark. Don't need this anymore. Get my glue. I got to get this done before we go off the air because she asked me, "Are you going to print that for me?" Yes, darling. Of course I am. You betcha. apply glue to the back, not near the edges, but say about 3/4 of an inch inside, and then just crisscross like so. You just want to have a liberal amount of glue, but nothing that will spill outside. In other words, when I place it down, I don't want it to come out to the edges. So line up my eye right there with those lines and down. And then we just press for a few seconds here, like so. You can still slide it around if you wish, but it's better to get it positioned where you want it to begin with. And that's it right there. Oh, my light just died. So time to recharge. So now I got to do this one. So it's a matter of taking another reading here. This is supposed to be 3 inches, but of course, it actually is 3 inches. How about that? And put a mark at the 1.5 inch mark or line point right there like that. Let me double check. I am shocked. This is actually the correct size according to what the sales said. Now, the idea here is to place this about 3/4 of the way up. So not center, but closer to the top, because I want it to be able to swing and center itself. So right there like that. I'll show you when I get done here. I'm going to apply glue. Like so. Line it up. Press. And then on top of that, I'm going to attach one of these little hangers. And these are really good. These really work nicely. So I haven't had any issues with any of these coming off or causing a crash like the regular double sticky tape was causing. And I'm still able to swivel it a little bit, so that's good. Everything's aligned correctly. I don't need any glue for this. I'm just going to go ahead and peel off the back like so. I'm going to leave this. See, this has a little bit of play right here, back and forth, so you can center it so that you visually see it as, being centered. And then using the little point on top as an alignment tool. So I'm going to go ahead and lay it down here, like so, and press. And you got to press really hard so that it really gets a good bond. Okay, now that's done. Now, on each corner, we're going to put 4 blocks, 1 for each corner. And these will make it pop off the wall. So this will create that illusion of a floating mount. And it looks like I need to get more of these. So it's a matter of peeling off. Okay, so when did I start doing this? About maybe 5-10 minutes ago. So, gives you an idea how long one of these takes to get it to this point. Again, let me slide this over, press. It only takes about 2 seconds of heavy pressure to really attach securely. And all this is doing is making it pop off away from the wall. And these are better. The 1/4 inch thick pieces of wood are better because that allows all 4 of these little thingamajigs to actually come in contact with the wall. Otherwise, they're going to come off the wall, but it's not going to be even. It might be a little bit tilted one way or another. So that I noticed, in the past with the thicker wood little squares. So I was worried that the screws for the regular hangers would be too long. And yeah, it would be a problem because, okay, let me double check. Yep, correct orientation. I made a mistake one time and glued everything down and it was upside down. I had to start all over again because there's no way you can detach that and not harm something. Okay, so now I'm going to attach my little label. Okay, and I'm thinking whether I should put it on the block of wood like so or down here. Maybe down here. Okay, so now you saw me do this from start to finish. I have ink from my marker. That's the first time I get ink from my marker on my hand. Wow. Yeah, the one that I replaced, my wife wasn't too fond of. Okay, so there we go. We're done. This is ready to go back upstairs on the wall. I just got to clean off the burrs a little bit. These two long edges are where the shearing machine at the factory cut the pieces from a roll of aluminum. It's really something to watch it being done. It's amazing how these machines work. And then they round the edges for you, so you get a nice look. Okay. There you go. Unfortunately, our lighting just died, but you can see how nice that looks, and the back looks pretty professional looking, which is good. That's what I was after. And so this is ready to go back upstairs. She's going to be happy when she sees this because this was one of her favorites. And I haven't even shown her this one yet, so nor this one. Maybe later. All right, one last thing that I wanted to try. Oh, this is the one that I cut off. Yeah, I cut off that little dimple. That's why I just laid it down to the other one. Yeah, there's an inch missing. So that's the one that I cut off to make it look better. Let me open up the newest Photoshop here. In other words, the beta version of 2025. And I want to load one single image. I was going to plan to do some work with Harold Davies' new images that he sent me, and also Richard Bender's Halloween stuff. But during the week, I'm going to be making a slideshow with those images as well as my images. And like I said earlier, and we'll go ahead and use that next week to greet us with. Okay, so this is opening up. Let it come fully open. I'll switch over to the other channel, other monitor, I mean. Okay, and I got to share it because remember, I had to come off to allow Mike to come in. All right, here we go. So let me search for that one image. Oh, I did something for my grandson. I made some templates for him. Not templates, for some stickers. And I have purchased some sticker media, which is like a vinyl, and it's compatible with inkjet inks. Let me just quickly show you real quick. Oh, I think they're a different location now. So let me go ahead and I'm going to open. I'm going to find the what I was going to do in the first place, the ghost image. and it should be located in desktop, but AI images for live stream. No, the new AI. Come on, stay put. My lord, that is annoying. Okay, new one right here, new. Okay, so let's open up the one with all the ghosts around the campfire. So that's the one I want. I'm going to select the image, and I'm going to I want to add fireflies. So let's see. Let me click on that. Add some fireflies in the background. Okay, let's see what it does. This will be funny if it does that. I printed this one and it looks good. It's upstairs. Okay, so I did it on the background. That's good. I didn't want them. Oh, not too many. Okay, that looks good. I like that. I like that. Let me do a second generation and see what happens, just to compare it. Nah, I like the first one. The first one has more. So I'm going to go ahead and flatten it. Actually, I'll just save it like that and just name it with fireflies. So save as, and that one, but with fireflies. Excellent. It's amazing. And I'm having fun. Again, like Mike said, we're not using this for nefarious reasons. We're using this for improving images and such. And so, therefore, there's no problem. I just hate when people use this technology for fakery. That should not be allowed at all. All right, let me load up the second slideshow. That way we can have something good to look at while we are logging off. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask them now. I see that Harold posted something here. Let me get this set up here a minute, and we'll proceed. And then the thank you. Hope you guys enjoyed having Mike surprise us like that. That was awesome. I love it. Okay. Let me see what Harold has to say. I just saw a nice local image at the Mayo Clinic for all metal prints. Oh, you have with ugly 1-inch aluminum bolts destroying the look. Your method is the way to go. Yeah, I don't want to really, unless I add those little corner decorations, I don't want anything affecting the surface. No, I want it to not only to float off the wall. This is going to float. See, there's no way that this is going to not float. This is going to float and be away from the wall about like half an inch. So that's plenty. And nothing is going to disrupt the surface. That's crazy. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the super expensive material that's like a 16th of an inch thick is heavy. Excuse me, especially in large print. Although aluminum is not supposed to be that heavy, but anyway. and they need more secure methods. But this is fine for what I'm using, and this is what I will continue to use, at least for my own purposes. Now, again, I had a couple other things that I wanted to share with you. I'll just quickly show you this. So I bought some slightly larger bags. Okay, there's another post here. I will put it up in a second here. So I will put that little descriptive card in here, but in case I'm using, say, if I make 2x3, that will be 2 feet by 3 feet print. That would be a yard by 24 inches, 36 by 24 aluminum print. Yeah, you can see those in some places. I don't know where I want to go that large, but this is going to be more for this. And look at the back. This looks like a real professionally framed uh, painting. And this fits perfectly. This is the first time I tried this. So this will have a description inside, a little card, price tag right here. And this is what I'm going to be selling next October. Okay. So at the show. So awesome. I'm glad those work. Whew. I will put these. I bought a ton of them. So this, if I'm successful with this is going to be a yearly thing now until I can't do it anymore. So, or something else happens, you know. So, let me see. This is Henry Stoffel, another great show, Jose, and a real treat to have Mike Cheney on the show today. Yes, absolutely. And again, what he created for me is just mind blowing. Mind blowing. I'm going to post that on my videos later on today. Make sure that I no longer have to deal with a whole list of links that are not showing up completely anyway, because YouTube doesn't recognize me fully yet. Looking forward to Mike's new video on Windows drivers on a session with Andrew in the future. Yes, absolutely. Me too. All right, folks. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, as always, for joining me. Let's go ahead and look at the slideshow. But until then, happy printing, everybody. Share and tell people about this channel. Let's get this channel moving so we can then be self-sufficient again. All right? Again, use that link that I posted earlier. Again, it's jtoolman dot. What was that? So simple. It's almost hard to remember. It's so simple. It's down here somewhere. I'll leave you with that. I'll just post it one more time just so you guys can see it. Let me go ahead and find it. Why is it that I cannot find that now? Here we go. There you go. jtoolman.net netleaf.app. And that's it. No HTTP or any of that stuff. So go ahead and post that and save it as a what do they call that when you save a link? You know what I mean. Save it and use that. If you're interested in any of the products that I am basically providing you links for, and I have affiliates with, go ahead and just click on that, and you'll be able to open up one at a time and get the proper connection to those places instead of what YouTube is doing to me now. So, all right, thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like. We'll see you next time, folks. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the week, and until next Sunday, bye-bye. Oh, I gotta do this again. Good Lord. Share screen. Isn't that something? No, I do not have to share screen. Boom. There we go. What the heck? Yeah, I do have to share screen. Sorry. Why? I thought I shared the screen already. I have to start it all over again. It's always a fiasco. Sorry. Sorry. But you'll enjoy this one. It's my abstracts. Here we go. And play.